I have gone through the streaks and the orangeness and the blotchiness and looking like I have some kind of disease on my chest. And then I finally found the ones that work for me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to tell you guys about my favorite types of self-tanners. I have tried so many up to date, and I have been self-tanning since I was like 18 years old, and I am 28 now, so it's been about 10 years of experience with self-tanners. Am I a pro at it? Absolutely not. I could take a little bit more time doing it, but that's just who I am as a person. But I like to get a little bit of a glow. I'm one of those people that is naturally very, very fair-skinned, and I do not tan in the sun. It takes me a very long time. I used to go tanning in a tanning bed when I was a lot younger, like in high school, and I think it caused a lot of damage to my skin. I have a lot of moles and just really bad like discoloration on my back, and it just doesn't look too great. So I kind of gave up on the sun because by the time I do start getting some kind of color, I've already created so much damage to my skin. So self-tanning is the way to go, along with SPF when you are in the sun, even in the winter months. Wear your SPF, you will thank yourself as you get older. So the ones I want to talk about today vary. I have my favorites for different types of occasions, different types of things. There are different ways of applying them. So the first ones that I want to talk about are from Isle of Paradise. They are the self-tanning drops. I purchased these off of the Sephora website. QVC always has deals on them as well, and there's other websites out there that carry this product. But you have these drops, there's light, there's medium, and then there's a violet one that is for dark skin tones. I first originally got the medium one thinking that, I'll just kind of control how much I use, and that was a big mistake because these are potent, guys. These are very potent. So the way that these work is you put in 1 to 12 drops. It's a big range. So you gotta kind of figure out what works for you. But you add as many drops as you think you would need into your moisturizer. You mix it together, you apply it on, and then you go to bed and you wake up with a beautiful glow. When I first saw these, I was like, there's no way this really works. Like I thought it was a very gimmicky type of product. And then I gave it a try and I fell in love. So these have pros and cons to them. The pro is that, you're not missing out on your moisturizer. I have very dry skin, so I love having my moisturizer on even in the summer months. And you kind of don't feel like you're kind of missing out on your routine because you just kind of add this into your regimen. You're not taking something away like you would when you do other self-tanners. Yeah, and then also this gives you like a very moist glow from within, if that makes sense. Like it makes it seem a lot deeper than it is. It doesn't look like you have like a layer of tan on. It just looks like you naturally have this type of glow. It fades beautifully, and it's very strange because you would think that you would mess up with this, but this doesn't really make you streaky. It's very weird. It's almost as if the moment it hits your moisturizer, it just completely gets dispersed. Like every molecule gets in with your moisturizer, it becomes your moisturizer, and it's just no matter what. I always was scared that I would have like little, like too much of this stuck in an air pocket in my moisturizer, and then I put it on and I'll get like dots, but that's not the case at all. These are absolutely amazing. The con with these is that I don't like to use these before bigger events because you have to kind of get your ratio correct. So think about it. Like you use a certain amount of moisturizer on your arms versus your legs versus your, torso, chest, your face. You get what I'm saying. So I'll put like 5 drops in with my moisturizer for my arms, and then I'll put 5 drops in for my moisturizer for my legs, but my legs will look lighter because there's more moisturizer that I'm using on my whole leg. And you could break it up into pieces. It's just you have to get a system going. It's also amazing when your self-tanner is fading on you. Let's say on your face. My face always fades the fastest, along with my hands. I do a lot of hand hygiene at work. So everything else still seems pretty intact. So I'll just kind of add this into my moisturizers and put it on my face before bed, or put it onto my hands before I go to bed, and it kind of gives that color right back, and it seems to just blend very naturally with everything else that already had that tanner already still on and looking kind of fresh. Moving on to mousses, I have 3 that I would like to mention. So I have these from Loving Tan. They're still super popular, but I remember when these were everywhere. They were all over Instagram, they were all over Facebook, YouTube, everything, and I had to try it, and I see now why people love these so much. But there is a difference between these two. So this is the 2-Hour Express in dark, and this is the regular, you put it on for like 6 hours in dark. This one gives me a tan that I absolutely love. This one's amazing. It's a mousse. and you can see it's pretty dark. The color guard is very dark. I love it because it really shows you exactly where you're not really hitting the right spots, if you know what I mean. So you put this on for 2 hours, you shower off, and then your tan continues to develop. However, I feel like 2 hours just isn't quite enough for me. It doesn't have to be exactly like hours after the 2 hours before washing it off, in my opinion. I feel like just that extra half hour to an hour helps a lot, because I will put this on my legs. I always start from the bottom up. You want to start tanning from the bottom up, just because you're bending over when you're putting your self tanner on. So if you have it kind of on your belly, and I've got some rolls, so when I'm going like that, I just get some weird lines. It looks like I have like a misshapen six pack. So let's just be completely raw here. So my point is I'll put this on my legs, and I notice that I'll look darker from where I first applied it, and then my arms will be much, much lighter, and there's only maybe like a 10-minute difference between them. So I know that sounds pretty like you're being dramatic, girlfriend, but I'm serious. There's a difference. This feels drying though when you put it on. Along with this feels drying when you put it on. I feel like there's more hydrating mousse tanners out there, but it's kind of foolproof. I feel like once you wash it off, it just looks beautiful. With the color guard, it looks scary. You look like really scary. You have streaks everywhere, and you're like, what is going on? This is gonna look terrible when it washes off. Not the case after you wash it off. It looks absolutely beautiful. Now this one is the one that you put on, you go to bed with it. So this one, if you've got an event and you wanna look glowy that day. This one, if you've got a little bit more time, wiggle room, you get what I'm saying. So this one I feel like does not last as long, and I feel like this one is not as forgiving. It's very strange. There's obviously a difference between these formulas. So there's something that's in here that makes this look a little bit better than this one, but I still love these very much. Now my other mousse tanner is the Bondi Sands self-tanning foam. This is another one that was super hyped up, and I feel like I was honestly scared to try it. This one isn't like my top favorite. It is like one of my favorites, clearly it's in this video, but this is like my least favorite of the ones I'm mentioning right now. That's because I thought I was gonna love it so much, because this is hydrating. When you put it on, it glides everywhere, it smooths in everywhere. When you're doing your feet with the mitt and you wanna get into like every crevice, like eventually this kind of starts drying and it's really hard to really get it everywhere. But this one, it just moves. Like a little bit goes a long way. It spreads easily. It's amazing. But the color guard is not that dark. It's not nearly as dark as the Loving Tan one. So you can't really see, if you've got poor lighting, you can't really see exactly where you may have missed. And another thing I learned about this one is that you can wash, apparently, this off after 1 hour. It says skin may be washed after 1 hour, then for a longer lasting tan, leave foam on skin for up to 6 hours. So honestly, I don't really do that. I'll put this on, I'll go to bed, wake up the next morning. You look very dark when you wake up though. This, when it develops, it is dark, but when it washes off, it washes off. So another product is actually like a moisturizing product, and I've never had really good experiences with moisturizing self-tanners. I remember trying like the $1 Million Tan. That one was just, there was absolutely no color guard, and then it's kind of frustrating because you have to wait for yourself to dry, and you're just kind of like standing there, whereas with the mousses, you kind of put it on, you go to bed, and, you put clothes on right away because it dries so quick. So I was kind of skeptical to try this. This is the Bondi Sands Gradual Tanning Milk. Gradual, you would think it's like a smidge of color. No, this will give you a nice glow after one use. You put this on, dries pretty quick, has a really nice cocoa butter scent, and then the next morning you have a nice glow. Then you put it on the next day, you put it on the next day, and you build it up. I personally do not like this like by itself, just on like my natural skin color, just because since I am so fair and this adds a little glow, I look jaundiced for like a day or two and so forth. But if you already have naturally darker skin tones, then this will definitely be great for you. But this is amazing paired with my self tanner. So after I have my self tanner on, and after about 2-3 days, I start seeing it kind of like losing some of its color. I just add this on for that boost because I moisturize anyways, so I might as well do it with something that's gonna help my self tanner even more. So that is just what I'm trying to say, is that sometimes if you have like super fair skin, this might not be the best bet, like right directly on it, but I still highly recommend this product. Clearly, I love it. This is my second bottle of it, and I just absolutely love it. I took this on vacation with me because I was getting a little bit of color there, and my tanner was kind of like wearing off there because I self-tanned before I went on vacation, but like you're in the pool the whole time, so eventually it started kind of coming off. This kind of gave it a little bit more time, and then also the somewhat tan that I was getting from the sun was also helping with this. So I kind of got that nice glow from this stuff. Now, as far as tools, there's 3 things that I need 100%, and that is a mitt. I don't buy any special ones. I buy whichever one I see is on sale at Ulta. This is, I think, an Ulta brand one, and I really like it. And then I use a makeup brush for my face. I will put like a pump of the self tanner on, and I will just kind of like blend it in, blend it onto my face, and then I sometimes will go into my hand after I have had a little bit of self tan already on there. And what I mean is like whatever's left over, I'll go over my hand, but sometimes you can't really get exactly everywhere. So then that's when this will kind of help buff everything in. But this is more specifically for getting into my hairline, all over my face, onto my ears, kind of gets you into all those areas. And now my back. My husband can be help with self tanner, sometimes not, and I prefer to do this when he is not home, just because I feel like when he's home, there's always like little things I gotta do, like, hey babe, can you do this? Hey babe, can you do that? And it's like, give me my piece. After my self tanner, I cannot get my hands wet. I cannot wash dishes. I can't do anything. So this helps me by doing this myself. You just kind of pump it on, and then you just kind of scrub it onto your back. Look in a mirror though, because this is kind of a hard sponge, so it doesn't spread that easily, but it does do the job. So I like it. I believe I got this. Yeah, I got this with Loving Tan as well, and I'm sure there's other ones out there that you can use. The last little tip I have, I discovered this by accident, and I am so happy that I did. So I put on self tanner once, and it was kind of like 3 hours into developing, and then it was like I was after work, I was like super tired, and so my husband decided to give me a foot massage, and I just kind of was like, whatever. If my feet are like all messed up afterwards, I really don't care at this point, because whatever, like I'll just wear socks for the next couple of days. It's not a big deal. So he gave me a foot massage, and so the self tanner mixed with the lotion, and my feet looked so naturally tan. There were no streaks, nothing weird, just looked so tan and even. And I was like, let me try this on the rest of my body. So then I did it on my hands, and then I also did it like on my elbows and knees and stuff and all that. So it helps a lot. That is something I definitely recommend. So that's just something else I gotta tell you guys. But anyways, these are my favorite self tanners. Like I said, I've tried many other ones, but they kind of didn't really make the cut. I feel like these are a little bit more foolproof. And yeah, but if there's any of them that you really like, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.